Hello and welcome back everyone. In this video, we are going to understand the concept of links and lists in HTML. Now both the topic plays a very important role whenever we are going to design a complete web page. So let's get started. First of all, in this video, we are going to understand that what do we mean by link. Because links plays a very important role in web designing. So what do we mean by link? A link is a connection from one web resource to another. A link has two ends, source and the destination. Suppose you are designing a web page and in that web page you want your user to navigate to another page. Here at this point of time we are going to use something called as link. So a link is a connection from one web resource to another. A link has two ends, source and destination. That means the link starts at the source anchor and points to the destination anchor. The destination may be any web resource. It can be an image, a video clip, a soundbite, a program, an HTML document, or an element within an HTML document. A web page can contain various links that take you directly to other pages and even specific parts of a given page. And these links are known as hyperlinks. Let's take an example. Suppose you are going to design a web page and in that web page you need to have 4 nav bar. Let's say you have home page, you have gallery, you have contact us and you have about us. If you want your user that the moment when he or she clicks on gallery, we are going to open gallery page. The moment when they click on contact, we are going to redirect our user to contact us page. For that, what we can do is we can use something called as hyperlinks. So guys, a web page can contain various links that take you directly to other pages and even specific parts of a given page. And these links are known as hyperlinks. Hyperlinks allow visitors to navigate between websites by clicking on words, phrases and images. That means you can redirect your user if they are going to click on some word, and even we can use the concept of hyperlink over images. Thus, you can create hyperlinks using text or images available on a web page. And guys, in HTML, links are defined with the anchor tag. So you are going to use this A tag in order to define links in an HTML page. First of all, I would like to show you the syntax of anchor tag, and then practically we are going to understand how we can use this anchor tag. So first of all, you are going to use A, which stands for anchor tag. Then we are going to use this attribute named as href, and within this attribute href, we need to specify the URL or the location where you want your user to be redirected. Then here we are going to use link text, and then we need to close this anchor tag. So this is going to be the general syntax of defining links in HTML. So href is the most important attribute of your anchor tag. It specifies the destination address, means where you are going to redirect your user. Link text is a visible part. So guys, href link is not visible to the user. We are going to display only link text to the user. So always remember, href specifies the destination address and link text is the visible part. Now clicking on the link text will send you to the specified address. Let me show you a quick example of it. Here we are going to use this anchor tag. In this anchor tag, you can see that within href attribute, we have specified the destination address. And our destination address is what? It is https www.testbook.com. That means the moment when your user will click on this text visit testbook.com, we redirect our user to this website testbook.com. So this is how we are going to use links in an HTML page. Now, Before I show you the practical part, I would like to share some important points with you. Okay, and guys, this slide we need to understand very carefully. Here, I will be explaining you HTML links colors. So when you move the mouse over a link, two things will normally happen. The mouse arrow first of all will turn into a little head. This point I will be going to show you with the help of practical example. That means the moment when you hover your mouse over a link, two things will happen. First of all, your mouse arrow will turn into a little head and the color of the link element will change. So by default, a link will appear like this in all browsers. An unvisited link is underlined and blue. A visited link is underlined and purple, and an active link is underlined and red. And these points, I will be displaying it to you practically. So guys, this is going to be our link. By default, this is an unvisited link and its color will be underlined and blue. The moment when a user will click on it, its color will be changed into the purple. Okay, and if the page is active, means if it is running in the background, its color will be red. So these are the HTML link colors which you need to understand very carefully. Unvisited blue, visited link purple, active link red. And I will be showing it to you practically in a while. One more thing I would like to show you, HTML links target attribute. So one of the most important attribute of anchor tag is href, but along with href we have another attribute and the name of that attribute is target attribute. Basically, this target attribute specifies where to open the linked document. So these are the attribute values which you can use. If you are going to use target is equal to underscore blank, it will open the linked document in a new window or in a new tab. If we are going to specify target is equal to underscore self, it will open the linked document in the same frame as it was clicked. If we are going to use underscore parent, it will open the linked document in the parent frame. And if we are going to use underscore top, it will open the linked document in the full body of the window. And not only this, we can use frame name as well. So if you are using target is equal to frame name, it will open the linked document in a name frame. And one by one, I will be showing you all the attributes practically. So now guys, we are proceeding towards the practical part, and practically I would like to show you how we can use links, what links can do for us, and what is the purpose of href and this target attribute. So guys, for practical part, I will be using my Visual Studio Code. Here in Visual Studio Code, I have created this file named as links.html. So now guys, here in this body tag, I'll show you that how we can play with the links. So in Visual Studio Code, I have created this file links.html, and within this, I'll show you practically how we can use links in HTML. So first of all, I'm going to change the document. So here the document will be links in HTML. Okay, and I'll show you the practical example of anchor tags. So here I will be using an h2 tag, and in this h2 tag I am going to write this text anchor tag. So guys, first of all, whenever you want to define a link in an HTML, you are going to use an anchor tag. Now one of the most important attribute of this a tag is href, which stands for hyperreference. Here you need to specify a location. Okay, location means where you want your user to be get redirected. Okay, so here I will be using this link https www.testbook.com. So this is going to be our destination. And now here within this anchor tag you can specify the link text. So this is known as hyperreference, and here guys you need to specify link text. And let's say here I'm going to write visit test book. Okay, so this is going to be our link text. Now guys, what will happen in your final HTML file? Only this text will be visible. Always remember, href is a hidden attribute. So user will going to have only this text in our final HTML page. So let me save this file. Okay, and I'm going to run, or I'm going to open it in a default browser. So you can see this is how it will look. So first of all, you can see that the title is links in HTML. Here we are using an anchor tag, and this is how your link will look. Remember the point, an unvisited link is underlined and the color will be blue. Now this is the text which is visible to your user. And now what will happen, the moment when we are going to click onto this text, it will redirect our user to testbook.com. How? I'll show it to you. So here I'm going to click over here. And now guys, you can see that it will redirect your user to testbook.com. So this is the purpose of HTML links. It redirects user from one page to another. And now guys, you can see that our link is being visited link. So the color is being changed, and here you can see that the color will become purple. So this is how we can use links in HTML. Okay, and one more point I would like to show you. It is not mandatory that every time you can use only text. Guys, we can consider, okay, or we can take image as hyperlink as well. How? I'll show it to you. So here I'm going to use this BR tag. Okay, so first of all, in my file explorer, I'm going to paste an image. So you can take any image from your computer and you just need to paste that image over here. So guys, for the demo purposes, I will be using this smiley image. All you need to do is you can take any image from your system. You just need to copy this image and you need to paste it in your file explorer. Okay, so you can paste that image over here. So how you are going to copy and paste, let me show you. So this image guys, you need to copy, open your VS Files folder, and then you can paste this image over here. Okay, and if I show you Visual Studio Code, you can see that we are now having this image. So now guys, in this demonstration, I will be showing you how we can convert an image into an hyperlink. So here, for image, I will be using image tag. Now, the most important attribute of image is src. And here, you need to specify the name of your image. You can see that Visual Studio Code IntelliSense will provide you the suggestion. So, I am going to use this image. Let me use two more attribute width. Let's say I will be keeping it as 200. And height, I will be keeping it as 200. So here we are using our image tab. If I refresh the page, you can see we are going to have this image. Now I am going to convert this image into an hyperlink. That means the moment when someone click onto this image will redirect our user to some different page. So here, in order to convert this image into an anchor tag, you need to use a mean anchor tag. Then you need to specify an href. Again, I will be using the same link, https www.testbook.com. Okay, so this is going to be our link. Now guys, one thing you need to take care of, you need to cut this closing anchor tag from here. Okay, and we need to put image tag within our anchor tag, and here I am going to close my anchor tag. By doing this, what exactly we are doing, we are converting this image into an anchor tag. So let me click on save all. Okay, and now I'll show you the output of it. Here I'm going to refresh it, and now you can see that earlier it was a simple image, but now this image has been converted into a link. How? If you hover your mouse over here, remember that point? The moment when you hover your mouse over this image, you can see your mouse arrow will be turned into a hand icon. That means it's a link. And the moment when you click onto this image, you will be redirected to testbook.com. So guys, not only we can create or we can convert text into an hyperlink, we can treat an image as an anchor tag as well. Okay, all you need to do is you just need to use an anchor tag. Within that anchor tag, you need to specify an image and you are good to go. So guys, here you can pause and you can practice. Try to execute these two concepts and then proceed further with me. So now guys, it is not mandatory that every time you need to specify these links. Okay. If you have different HTML files, okay, so you can see that I have first.html, I am having second.html. So we can use our anchor tag to redirect our user to these files as well. So don't think that every time you need to mention some URL. No, you can use this anchor tag for redirecting your user from one HTML page to another HTML page as well. How? I'll show it to you. So here I'm going to use BR breakthrough, and now another demo I would like to show you. Okay, so let me keep this BR tag over there, and guys, here I'm going to decrease the width and height as well. Let's say 80, and 80 will be more than enough. So here I will be showing you how we can redirect our user to different HTML files in a same document. So here I will be using an anchor tag href, and guys, this time I am going to specify first.html as my link. So don't think it is mandatory to specify the URL all the time. You can specify the name of your HTML file as well. And now guys, here we need to set some text. Click here to open first.html file. So this is going to be our link text. Here what I am writing, click here to open first.html file. So let me click on save. Here we'll refresh the page. And now you can see that this is going to be your link text. So click here to open first.html file. And the moment when your user click onto this link, your first HTML page will be open. Okay, so you can use anchor tag to open different HTML files as well. Now, one more attribute I would like to show you. So guys, as of now you can see two things will happen. First of all, your color will be changed and your mouse icon will be changed. Now one more attribute you can specify, and the name of that attribute will be title tag. So I'll just copy the same code, I'll paste it over here, and one more attribute we can use, and the name of that attribute will be title. Okay, and guys, here you can give any title to it. Let's say I'm going to give it a title as first HTML. Now what will happen? Let me click on save. Here I will be refreshing of this page, and now guys, the moment when I hover my mouse, I'm going to have the title as well. So you can see that here you will not going to have any kind of a title or any kind of an information, but the moment when you hover your mouse over there, you can see that the title tag will give an idea to your user that this is first HTML. So you can provide any title to your anchor tag. You can write your company name over here, you can write some taglines over there. Okay, so you can see that one more attribute we can use in anchor, and the name of that attribute is title. Okay, and here you can specify any text. So guys, please pause this video and practice. So now guys, here we are going to understand the most important point, the target attribute. Okay, so here we are going to use a comment. And here, now I will be explaining you the concept of target attribute in HTML, okay, or in anchor tag. So guys, this target attribute plays a very important role. Okay, how you can use this target attribute, it is really important to understand. Okay, so let me close this A tag over there, and let me click on save. So guys, here I will be using beard tag. Okay, and I'm going to use the same piece of code. So I'll just copy it from here and I'll paste it. If you observe it carefully guys, the moment when you are going to click on this visit textbook, it will open the textbook website in a same page. Observe it very carefully. The moment when I click on this visit textbook, it will open the textbook.com in a same page. But what if you want to open this textbook.com in a new tab? How you can do this? For that, you can use anchor tag target attribute. Okay, and how we can use this target attribute? Let me show you. So guys, here I'm going to use this attribute named as target. Okay, and if you want this textbook.com website to be get open in a new tab, here you need to specify this value underscore blank. Okay, here what you can do is you can use this value named as underscore blank. And now here what will happen? Let me save this file and I'll show it to you. Now I'm going to refresh. If now we click on this link visit textbook, you can see that the textbook.com site will open in a new tab. So guys, target attribute plays a very important role in an anchor tag. Using this target attribute, you can specify the location where you want to open a new tab. Okay, or where you want to open a link in a new tab or in a same window. So very easily, what we can do is we can use this target attribute. So if we want to open the link to another page or in a new tab, always remember use this attribute target and specify this value underscore blank. So this is how we are going to use link in HTML. Always remember, for link you are going to use anchor tag, and href is the most important attribute. Here you need to specify the destination, and this is considered as your link text. The moment when user click onto this link, he or she will be redirected to this website. And not only you can make text to be treated as an anchor tag, here you can see that we can use images as well. That means if someone click onto this image, we'll redirect our user to textbook.com. So guys, after links, now we are going to understand the concept of HTML list. Now list also plays a very important role. Suppose you want to display some important points of your website to a user. At that point of time, you can use something called as list. So what do we mean by a list? The list allows us to group the set of items. In HTML, you are going to have some types of list. We are going to understand unordered list. Then we are going to understand ordered list, and finally we are going to understand description list. So in HTML, you are going to have three categories of list: unordered list, ordered list, and description list. So guys, here you can see with the help of this image, this is how your unordered list will display the set of items, and this is how your ordered list will display the set of items. So this list you can use in order to display some important points. If you want to display, let's say, student names, then you can use ordered list, and ordered list will display the student names along with the numbers. So these are the three lists which we are now going to understand. So first of all, we are going to understand the concept of unordered list. So the unordered list is a bulleted list. The unordered list starts with the UL tag and ends with the closing UL tag. Okay, so if you want to use or if you want to display some set of items in an unordered list, you have to use this UL tag. Each item is to be listed in li tag. Okay, suppose you want to display student names. Suppose you want to display some beverages information. Suppose you want to display some car names. So first of all, you are going to use UL tag, and Audi, BMW, Mercedes, this list you need to specify in this li tag. Okay, so practically I'll show you that how we can use ul and li. Let me show you a quick example of ul li. Let's take an example of this. Here we are using unordered list, and in this unordered list I want to display these set of items, let's say coffee, tea and milk. So how you are going to write coffee, tea and milk? With the help of li tag. And the moment when you write this information in your HTML page, this is the output you will going to have. I hope it is clear. If you want to use unordered list, use ul tag, and in order to display the set of items, we are going to use li tag. So now I would like to show you practically that how we can use this unordered list. So guys, for practical example here, I have created a new file and the name of this file is list1.html. Okay, and here I would like to show you how we can use unordered list. So here first of all, I'm going to give it a title as list. Here guys, I will be using an h2 tag, and here I'm writing unordered list. So guys, always remember an unordered list starts with the ul tag. Okay, suppose we want to display some car names. So here I am going to use this ul tag, and now in order to display the car names, or in order to show the car names in unordered list, we have to use this li tag. Okay, and guys, between this li tag you can display the set of items. Let's say my first item will be BMW. Then I am going to use li tag. Here I am going to write Audi. Then again I need to display one more item. So again we need to use li tag, and here I am going to write, let's say, Mercedes. Then one more li tag I will be using. Okay, and here let me type Ferrari. So this is how guys you can use an unordered list in HTML. You have to use ul tag and you need to use li tag in order to display the set of items. Now let me save this file, and if I show you the output of it, this is how your unordered list will look. Okay, so always remember unordered list will display the set of items in bullet symbols. So guys, this is going to be the default unordered list. Okay, so the symbol which you can see over here is a default one, but if you want to change this icon, very easily you can do it. So guys, unordered list provide you an attribute named as type. Okay, and using that type attribute, what you can do is you can change the look and feel of your element, because by default unordered list will display you the set of items using this bullet symbol. Okay, but if you want to change this bullet, I'll show you how we can do it. So here I'm going to use to-be tag, and this is how you need to use. So guys, here you are going to use ul type. Okay, so this attribute you need to use ul type is equal to circle. Okay, and now I'm going to copy the same set of items. Let me copy it, paste, and now what will happen if we now refresh the page? This time you can see that your set of elements will be displayed in a circle. So this is the default, and the name of this default is disk, D-I-S-C. Okay, so you don't need to specify ul type is equal to disk because it is default. So one type is circle. Let me show you some more type. Here again I will be using be tag, and this time I would like to show you ul type is equal to, and guys, here we are going to use something called as square. Okay, so let me paste these set of elements once again. I'm going to save it, and the moment when I refresh the page, this time your elements will be displayed to you in a square. So this is going to be the default layout of your unordered list, but if you want to change the symbol, let's say you want to use circle or you want to use square, then which attribute you need to use? You need to use this type attribute. Okay, and guys, one more type we have, and that type later on we will be using in our web application project. So the name of this type is ul type is equal to none. If you don't want any style for set of items or for your set of items, you can keep the type as none. Now what will happen? Let me save it, and if I show you the output, you can see no symbol will be appear in front of your set of items. So this is going to be ul type is equal to none. So guys, this is the disk, circle, square, and this is going to be your none. All you need to do is you just need to use this attribute named as type, and you can specify these values. So this is how we can display the items in an unordered list. Now we are going to understand another type of list, and the name of that type is ordered list. So let's understand guys what is ordered list. The ordered list can be either numerical order or it can be an alphabetical order. The ordered list starts with oval and ends with closing oval tab. Each item is to be listed in li tag, same like your unordered list. You have to display or you have to mention your items in this li tab. Type attribute has to be used to specify the order of the list. So which means oval tag provides you an attribute and the name of that attribute is type, and using this attribute you can specify the order of your list. The type can be numerical, alphabets in upper or lower case, and Roman numbers in upper or lower case. Okay, and one by one I will be showing it to you practically that how we can use ordered list and what are the different types of attribute we can use in oval tag. But the default value of your oval tag will be 1. Okay, always remember, if you are going to use only oval tag, suppose you are not using any kind of an attribute, then your default value will be 1. So guys, the default value for type is 1, which denotes numerical. So let me show you a quick example of ordered list. Suppose this is how we have written our HTML program: oval, coffee, tea and milk. Now what kind of an output you will be going to have? So guys, this piece of HTML code will going to represent your set of items in a numerical order. Why? Because the default value of oval tag is 1. So coffee will be 1, tea will be 2 and milk will be 3. But it is not mandatory. I have already told you that we can change the type of our oval tag. Means if you want to start your oval tag with some alphabets, then you are going to use this attribute named as type, and in this type if you are writing capital A, then your set of items will be displayed to you like this. Okay, so this is how we are going to use ordered list in HTML. Now guys, practically I would like to show you that how we can use ordered list in HTML. So guys, for practical I am going to create a new file and the name of that file will be list2.html. Okay, and here we are going to understand the concept of ordered list. So the title will be list. Here I will be using an h2 tag, and here I am going to write ordered list. Okay, so one by one I will be showing you the default ordered list and what if we are going to use the attribute named as type. So first of all, let's start with the default ordered list. So all you need to do is you just need to use this oval tag, and here you can use this ll. So here I'm going to write it's a milk, juice. Okay, here I'm going to use one more li tag, let's say tea, and here I will be using one more li tag in which I'm going to write let's say coffee. So guys, what will happen and how default ordered list will display you the set of items? Let me save this file I'll show it to you on default browser, and you can see that the default will start with the numerical 1. So 1 milk, 2 juice, 3 tea, and 4th will be coffee. But if you want to use, let's say you want to display your set of items in an alphabetical order. So guys, here what you need to do is you need to use, okay, I'll just copy it. You need to use an attribute, and the name of that attribute is type. Okay, if you want to display it in alphabetical order, so here you can write capital A. Now guys, what will happen if you are going to specify capital A, then your set of items will be displayed to you in an alphabetical order, and here this time HTML will be using capital alphabets: capital A, capital B, capital C, and capital D. Now suppose if you want to display your set of items in lower cases, then what you need to do, you just need to change the type of your attribute, and here you can use small a, okay, or you can write your alphabet A in a lower case. Let me save it. Here I'll refresh it, and now you can see that your set of items will be displayed to you in a lower case. And guys, not only you can use numerical or you can use alphabets, here in ordered list we can use Roman numbers as well. How? I'll show it to you. So here, if I change the type as I, so guys, here it will start using Roman numbers in lower cases. Let me save it. If I refresh the page, you can see now you will be going to have the Roman numbers. And if you write capital I in your type attribute, then OL will treat your li item, or will going to display your set of items in a uppercase Roman numbers. Let me save this, and if I refresh the page, you will be going to have your output. So guys, this is how we can play with an ordered list. The default one will be the numeric one. If you want to display it in an alphabetical order, then you can write capital A or small a. If you want to display your set of items in a Roman numbers, then you can write small I or capital I. So now, please pause this video over here and give it a try. Definitely, you are going to enjoy the concept of ordered list. So now guys, two more attributes I would like to discuss with you. These two attributes are associated with our OL tag. The first attribute is start. Okay, so guys, here I will be explaining you the start attribute. So the start attribute is used with OL tag to specify from where to start the line numbers, or from where to start the list items. As of now, you can see that our list is getting started from ABCD from 1 to 3, 4, but it is not mandatory. Very easily, you can specify from where to start the list items. And in order to do so, we have to use an attribute named as start. Okay, how we can use it, I'll show it to you. So first of all, here you need to specify the type. Okay, so let's say here I will be using type as 1, and along with that I will be using this attribute named as a start, and here I am going to write 5. Now what will happen over there? Let me copy these elements. I'll paste these elements within my OL tag. Now I'll just save it, and if I show you the final output, you can see this time guys your list width starts with 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so it's not a rule that every time your list will start with 1, 2, 3, 4. Very easily with the help of start attribute you can specify from where to start the list items. And it is applicable on Roman numbers as well. It is applicable on alphabets as well. How? So if I change this type from 1 to capital A, then what will happen? Let me click on save. If I refresh the page, this time you will be going to have your list of items starting with E, F, G, H. If here you are going to write small a, then list will start with small e. Then if we are going to write Roman number, then list will start from here. So guys, this start attribute is an important attribute. This integer attribute specifies the start value for numbering the individual list items. Okay, so very easily you can use this start attribute. Now one more attribute I would like to show you, and the name of that attribute is reversed. So if you want to print your items, okay, or if you want to print the numbering of your items in a reverse order, you can use this attribute named as reverse. All you need to do is here you just need to type reverse, okay, and you can copy these elements and you can paste it over there. Now what will happen if I save it and if I refresh the page, you can see this time your list numbers will be appear in a reverse order 1, 2, 3, 4. So these are two more attributes which you can use with your ordered list, start and reverse. Okay, so now guys you can give it a try. So now guys, after the ordered list, we are going to understand something known as descriptive list. Now when you are going to use this descriptive list, I'll show it to you practically. Before that, let's understand the theory behind this descriptive list. So the descriptive list is used to provide descriptions to the items listed. Suppose you are displaying some set of items in HTML with the help of ordered list, or let's say with the help of unordered list. And you realize that you should specify some description of those items listed. At that point of time, what you can do, you can use something called as descriptive list. So the descriptive list is used to provide description to the items listed. Now for descriptive list, you are going to use tag named as DL. Okay, so guys, DL is the tag which we are going to define for description list. Okay, and in this DL tag we are going to use this DT tag which defines the items in the list. So DL tag defines the description list, DT tag defines the items in the list. Okay, and guys, one more tag we are going to use over here, and the name of that tag is DD, which defines the description of the tag. Let me show you a quick example of it. It will going to give you a clear understanding of descriptive list. Suppose here you need to specify these two items in an HTML page, let's say coffee and milk. But you realize that you need to specify some description as well. That what is the purpose of coffee, what is the purpose of milk. So here you can use descriptive list. So guys, always remember descriptive list you are going to start with the DL tag. Then you are going to use DT in which you can specify the items of your list. And if you want to provide definition or some description of those items in the list, you can use DD tag. So you are going to write this HTML piece of code, and in return you will be going to have this output. So coffee, black hot drink, milk, white cold drink. So if you want to specify a little bit description of your item listed, you can use descriptive list of HTML. Now let me show you a practical example of it. Okay, so guys, here I am using one HTML file. So here I am going to give it a title as list, h2 tag, and guys, this time we are going to understand something called as descriptive list. So guys, here in this h2 tag I am going to write descriptive list. Now one by one I would like to explain it. First of all, whenever you are going to use a descriptive list, you are going to use the parent tag named as DL. Okay, so this is the tag which you are going to use. Now guys, suppose you want to display some set of items. In order to display those items, you are going to use DT. Okay, here you can write like say HTML, Then this is going to be my another element which I want to display, let's say Java. Then I will be using one more element, let's say JavaScript. Okay, and here I will be using one more set of item named as SQL. So guys, if you want to display these set of items in your HTML, then you can use DT. But somehow you realize that I should specify some description of all the items as well. Okay, if you want to specify the description of all the item listed, here you can use something called as DD. Okay, and using DD tag you can specify the description of your list of items. So let's say in HTML I am going to write, let's say, is a markup language. Okay, here I am going to write is a markup language. I am going to provide some description to Java as well. For description we will be using DD. Is a programming language. Okay, here I am going to write is a programming language. For JavaScript I need to provide some description, let's say it is a scripting language. Okay, and for SQL I am going to write, or I am going to write this description is a query language. Okay, so now guys, if I save this, okay, let me show you the output of it. So you can see this is how you will be going to have the final layout of your descriptive list. So this is how you are going to create a descriptive list in HTML. This information you are going to specify in DT, and the description you are going to specify in DD. So you just need to understand this hierarchy and you are good to go. So descriptive list starts with the DL tag. Okay, items you can specify in DT and description you can specify in DD. So you can see that the DD element represents the description, definition or the value. Okay, and where on DT element represent the items or the terms or the names, and this TL is used for creating a descriptive list. Okay, so guys, here we are done with our list. Now certain points I would like to discuss with you. Okay, so the main important point, see, we are learning what we are learning HTML5. Okay, and guys, in HTML5 this type attribute is obsolete. I am recommending you not to use this type attribute like this. If we are using HTML5, so we are going to use HTML5, we are going to design our project in HTML5. So in order to change these symbols, let's say we know that the default one is going to be bullet. We can use circle, we can use a square. So if you want to use square or if you want to use circle, please don't use this approach, because this approach is obsoleted in HTML5. Then how we can change the list of items? Suppose I want circle. So guys, here we can use CSS. Okay, so you can use what? You can use CSS. So guys, please try to note it down that the type attribute is not supported in HTML5. Instead of type attribute, we can use CSS property. Okay, and how we can use it? I'll show it to you. Here you can use UL style is equal to list. Okay, so this is the CSS property which you are going to use, and the name of that property is list style type. Okay, and what kind of value you want to specify to your list? So you can see that we have lots of values. Okay, so guys, here I am going to use, let's say, square. Okay, so this is the valid approach which you need to use in HTML5. So don't use this type attribute because this type attribute is obsolete. Instead of this, you can use CSS property, and the name of that CSS property is list style type. And this square is what? It's a value. Now what will happen if I paste these elements? Let me click on save. I'll show you the output in browser. So you can see that your output will remain same. But this is the approach which you need to follow in HTML5. So please use this CSS property and this value if you want to change the look and feel of your unordered list. So instead of you start using this type attribute, use this style attribute, and in this style attribute use this CSS property and value. So guys, that's it for this video. In this video we learned about links and lists in HTML.